Let me finish tonight with where this American war with Iraq started. The people who had their hearts set on this war didn't really care what arguments would get us into it. They just wanted us in. They tried connecting it to 9/11. Again and again, they tried that, failing each time. They tried connecting it to the anthrax that was mailed to Tom Brokaw and Tom Daschle. They tried connecting it to the African country of Niger, where they said Saddam Hussein had tried to buy uranium. The president told us that in the State of the Union. He and his vice president deliberately overruling evidence to the contrary. Finally, the ideologues pushing war told us Iraq had a nuclear weapon. It could fire at us here in America, what they had newly and strangely called our homeland. They had found the magic bullet, the one sales pitch that would get us into attacking a country that had not attacked us. We were now launched in a war aimed at regime change, another strange new phrase, to battle an enemy newly sized up as the axis of evil. All this Orwellian language, all this purposeful propaganda tying Iraq to 9/11 ended up working with about half the country. People began to believe that those were Iraqis who hijacked the planes that hit us in New York and Washington. For half the country, the sales job was complete. We were getting even. Iraq was payback. Remember how you felt? Here's what I wrote in December 2nd, 2001, as George W. Bush began his push for war with Iraq, 15 months before we invaded. Quote, like victors before him, President Bush is being tempted with greater glories in the days ahead. He's considering following his triumph in Afghanistan with a more magnificent destruction of Saddam Hussein. It's a bad idea, I wrote in the San Francisco Chronicle. If it was in my power to stop him, I would. To attack Iraq now would be to forfeit all that the American president has won since September 11th. I've given up trying to understand the thinking of those who agitate for such a wrong and tragic course. If there's anyone who honestly believes that the way to win the hearts and minds of the Islamic world, to end this drift toward Islamic terrorism, is to attack a secular Arab country that has not attacked us, does anybody believe that? I still believe it. It's the central question here that should have been asked and answered before we went to war with Iraq, and it never was. Will this make their terrorism less of a threat than it was before? That's Hardball for now. Thanks for being with us. Right now, it's time for The Ed Show with Ed Schultz.